Welcome back to the Sunday Talk Show here on the Arise News channel. I'm Rueben, Abati. The world is on the verge of its first ballistic missile attacks as the United States and North Korea threaten to test their military might. North Korea's Kim Jong-un has given till mid-August to launch a strike on the U.S. territory of Guam with 4 missiles. It will take 14 minutes for a missile fired from North Korea to reach Guam. That's one attack President Donald Trump has made no words about how U.S. will react. He has vowed fire and fury. With these two that will leave most nations no choice but to side with either. The panelists will take a look at this. Now, are we facing the threat of a World War III?
Yeah, I think so. I honestly think so. And I'm particularly worried because the young man in North Korea does not seem to care. Unfortunately, the man in White House too is just slightly better, if I could say that. And what we've seen in the last few weeks is an indication that something terrible is coming up. You know, the global village, and then the rest of the world must rise up to this challenge. It's a very serious one.
Well, somehow I tend to get the impression that North Korea is probably bluffing.
I don't think so.
In July, they tested missiles twice, July 8, July 27. But you see that perhaps what Kim is trying to do is to build confidence and to protect himself and his people. Haven't seen what happened to Libya, what happened to Iraq. Yes. And when you tell the Americans that, look, we're confident, we're ready to fight, he was telling President Trump, we will give America whatever type of war it wants. Yeah. And already in the whole of that region, there is tension. Yes. Guam is where the Americans have their base, yes, with about 25,000 troops. Mm-hmm. Japan, which is also a U.S. ally, is also already preparing for war. And the allies, the North Korean allies, Russia and China, they are not imposing sanctions on North Korea. So it looks like a very tough situation. And the assessment of issues that whereas North Korea may have the capacity to strike mainland United States, but if it comes to a real war between the two countries, North Korea is probably at a disadvantage.
It's not going to be that simple.
I don't agree with you either.
It's not going to be that
simple. Don't forget that there are people who are not in support of the U.S. who would gladly align with North Korea.
Well, Iran is not in support of the U.S.
Absolutely. So when you look at those powers,
preaching caution.
You never can tell
when
where
you look
Russia
at those
might go.
powers, absolutely. Russia, that's exactly what I was going to say. You never can tell where Russia is going to go. And then when you look at the fact that Kim is not, he's a very smart man. He knows what he's up against.
And he's mean.
And he's not the kind of person who would come out and start something he cannot finish.
He's very mean.
So I won't believe that he's bluffing.
Someone who could...
I don't think he should be taken casually. Yeah. Absolutely. I don't think his threats should be taken casually.
I don't think we should think he's bluffing.
Yeah, he has built more than confidence. He has built weapons.
This just may be, like people have speculated,
the
beginning of another World War.
And he's also been able to energize the citizenry.
Exactly.
Yes.
One of the messages coming out of North Korea, about 3.5 million volunteers are willing to join the war, and they are ready. Yeah, but you see, the North Korea propaganda, can be seductive.
No, this is no longer propaganda.
I don't believe that this is propaganda.
What we are seeing now, they said, oh, it doesn't have the capacity to send this, the distance, it's covered the distance. Now it can strike mainland America.
But you know, he's one guy who is always saying what is talk.
The Americans, they practically almost wiped out the whole of North Korea.
But the problem of North Korea
and Donald Trump has made it very clear that they too are ready. The American missiles are locked and loaded and
conflict
focused.
May have been averted.
Yes, this means
but the problem of North Korea
Trump's friend has loads of nonsense. And you could see the reaction of Trump. He said maybe his fury threat was not tough enough.
Well, I think
it got to Trump.
Because if you check the readout of
Conflict
President
may have been
Trump's,
averted for
phone
now,
call to,
but the problem of North
the
Korea
governor
remains
of
America's
Guam.
biggest
Yeah.
foreign
was
policy
telling him
challenge.
that, look, the
Laurie
United
Miller,
States is
Horizon News.
1,000% behind Guam, and that if anything happens to Guam or any territory that is an American ally, that the United States will not hesitate to fight back.
I pray
The
they
only
won't need to
problem I
fight.
see is that whereas President Trump is, his rhetoric is quite strong and aggressive, some other members of his cabinet are talking about diplomacy. Has it reached a point where diplomacy cannot work? What should the international community do?
No. Diplomacy dialogue at this stage is still allowed.
Yes, it can still work. I don't think that matters have deteriorated such that diplomacy can't work. There's still opportunity for dialogue. There's still opportunity to
I
reason
think
with,
Trump needs to
with
do a lot
the
of
North
talking to
Korean
himself too.
leader to manage situations before it gets out of hand. Because I think America has much more to lose.
Yeah, a lot of the American
yes.
leaders are even saying that the former presidents were not stupid by not taking on this guy. They were not stupid. And that our man, Trump, should calm down and find out the reasons why America did not go too far.
Well, I mean, as human beings, having seen the devastating effect of World War I, World War II, I'm sure our natural inclination will be to ask for peace and to ask the United Nations to intervene and mediate between the various gladiators in this particular contest. But before we go, let's talk quickly about Kenya. What has happened in Kenya? Kenya just held its general elections on August 8th, and the elections have been concluded with the incumbent winning 54.8% to
8.2 million to 6.7 million votes.
Raila Odinga's 45.2%. But there was outbreak of violence in places, in the strongholds
That was expected.
of Odinga's. But the good news is that it's not as bad, although about 24 people died. But it's not as bad as what happened in 2007 when Kenya practically imploded and over 1,000 persons were killed. And the international observers have said that, look, the process
Was free and fair.
and that, it was a credible election. And African leaders and other leaders elsewhere have already congratulated Uhuru Kenyatta. But it looks like the rivalry between the Kenyatta family and the Odinga family will probably never end.
It will never
But
end.
also
I was just going to say
speculations,
that.
but there are speculations that the election was not fair.
I was going to
There were
ask about
there are
this.
video recordings of, there was one I saw where one of the rec officers was counting and went from 39 to 300. Started counting physical votes.
Bobby, just because the international observer said it was free, do we just admit it was free?
No, that's not. There is no election that is totally free. No, not even in the United States, where we talk so much about democracy. I left Nairobi just last week, and I knew there were going to be problems because even a top officer, in their electoral office, was killed. And so naturally, we expected that this kind of thing was going to happen. But let us thank God, like you said, that it did not go out of control. The truth is, most people I spoke with in Kenya, especially the young ones, believe that Uhuru was a younger person, he's more vibrant, he's not doing too well.
Well, which takes us back to the point about age and
Yeah,
Nigerian politics. Because Raila Odinga is already about 72.
Exactly.
And he had even said this will be the last time he will run.
No,
then maybe he will come back again
It will be difficult.
and run another time. You've been watching This Day Live, Sunday talk show, here on Arise News. I'm Rueben Abati in Nigeria's commercial capital, Lagos. From all of us here on Arise News, it's bye for now. And thanks very much indeed for watching.